Hey everybody, it's Fabio, and welcome to my fantastic supermodel channel. Just kidding. It's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant with ridiculous hair going on right now. Welcome back. Today we are not going to be talking about my blown out locks that just need to have a haircut in the next couple weeks, which is happening. But we are going to talk about our wax empties, which are kind of overflowing as you can see, as well as a couple scents that are not fully emptied, but I figured were of due mention because they are in the current Harvest collection or our scent of the month. So that being said, before we get into this really quickly, if you have any questions about Scentsy or other home fragrance related questions, feel free to email me. My information is in the description box below, as well as my personal website. All right, let's dive in. So, lots of things have been warming. I've been doing a mix of everything because, you know, that's what I do. So I don't even know where to start. Let's just dump it out and see what we got. All right, let's start with our Scentsy stuff. So I got through a bar of Amber Road. This is a incensey amber sort of scent. This was in our winter 2019 Bring Back My Bars. It's really good. It's in my Scentsy club. This is one of the bars that I was like on the wall about. Like, do I want to keep it in my club? Do I want to remove it? I think I'm going to keep it for at least one more round of the subscription before I take it out. If I do, it's one of those ones where when it's first warmed, the incense note is really strong, almost a little bit overbearing. But once it's been warming for an hour or two, the incense kind of mellows out and you get more of the amber note, and then it's really, really pleasant to smell. And it's like this inviting ambery scent. But if you don't like incense and you don't like amber, this is not a scent that I should ever recommend you try. But if you like either of those notes, it's great. And like, I sometimes have allergies and like sinus issues, so real incense burning can cause like my allergies to go wild. But this is like the scent of incense without all the negative effects of incense when you're actually burning it. So that is Amber Road. Next, we have Ghostly Greetings. This is the September scent of the month. It is, I want to say there's like plum and bourbon and sandalwood in this. I don't really get the bourbon note, to be quite honest. I get a rich, deep plum, and I get sandalwood. Those are like the top main notes that I get as it's warming. It's not a powerhouse thrower, so if you're looking for something that is like wham, bam, yeah, this isn't it. Okay, so this is gonna be like a medium strong or medium soft, depending on the room and your layout. But it's so nice, and it does last. It lasts quite a while. Definitely lasted at least the whole day for me, if not a little bit longer. But again, it's not going to be an in-your-face, smack you in the face sort of scent. So if you want something that's a little bit less aggressive, this is a great one to try. And it is available until the end of this month, unlimited quantities, I believe. Once the month ends, if it's not in your club or we run out of stock, you are out of luck. So, Ghostly Greetings. It is in my Scentsy club. I love it. I actually ended up finding another consultant and buying their warmer scent of the month kits brick because they were trying to sell it to someone, and I was like, yes please, give me that in brick. So next we have Jack's Obsession Halloween Nightmare Before Christmas scent. This came back. So this is originally released when the Jack Skellington warmers were first released, and then they brought it back with this round as well as a new fragrance. This is the returning one. It's basically a green apple, cinnamon, and clove. And it's nice in the sense that it's not an apple cinnamon scent, because traditional apple cinnamon scents used to be, or tend to be, a red apple and a cinnamon, or a red apple and cinnamon spice. This is a green apple and cinnamon spice, or cinnamon clove in this case. It is a fresh green apple. I do like the scent. I'm not huge on apple spice scents in general. Like, not that they're bad to me, but I just feel like every single company has an apple spice or sort of cinnamon apple something scent, and sometimes they have multiple versions of it. And it's just like, if you're gonna make a spice scent, can you please be a little bit more interesting in your blends? Other than just being like, apples and cinnamon. What goes well with apples? I don't know, cinnamon? Cool. It's like the people in the boardroom. It's like, what could we be creative with? Apples and cinnamon. It's a nice scent. I've smelled many apple and cinnamon scents. Is this one of my favorites or standout among the bunch? Not particularly. I think in terms of uniqueness, because it's a green apple, it is a bit more, there's a little tartness to it. There's a different sort of sweetness that you wouldn't get if you had just a regular red apple cinnamon sort of scent. Is it club worthy for me? I don't know. I think, you know, if I had to put this next to something like Johnny Appleseed, absolutely not club worthy. If I had to put this next to one of our other many millions of apple cinnamon sort of combinations, some of this would knock out of the park, some it would struggle to beat in terms of my favorite. But it is a really good scent on its own. If you haven't tried it and you do like apple cinnamon sort of scents, this is a nice kind of twist on the traditional one. So check that one out. It is still available. The other scent, Halloweentown. This is, I'm going to get all the scent notes wrong. I'm going to get some of them right. I know that there's like a spiced cedar wood in here of some sort, and I know there's a cranberry note, and I know there's something else, and I can never remember what the something else is, and this is like the 4th time I've had to explain it to someone, and the something else always slips my mind. So this one's an interesting scent. I'm not sure if I'm of the camp that I love it, or that there's something naggingly obnoxious about it. I like cedarwood. Not sure if I need a spiced cedarwood though. You do get the cedarwood note though. So if you don't like cedar-based scents, this is not for you. It's not like cedar plus things, but it is in there. Cranberry. I get a berry note, but it's very muffled to me. So there's like a sweet, richer, slightly tart berry, but it's not like Very Merry Cranberry where you can distinctly tell it's cranberry. You know, it's like there's some sort of rich berry note going on, but I'm not really sure. This also does some like weird funky things for me personally when it warms, and I've warmed it like in different rooms of the house so I can like compare apartment and a house. It's like, it does like this weird note that's not quite on the same lines as like Perfect Oatmeal was. And it's not quite on the same lines of the note that like you get from a scent like Blueberry Cheesecake, like that cheesecakey sort of note. But it's kind of like a weird cross between those two, and that's the off-putting part to me. And it's not always there, so like when I warmed this in one part of the house, apartment, and one in the other part, I warmed Jack's Obsession, the weird blueberry cheesecake, oatmeal, soggy milk sort of dog note thing, whatever you want to call it, kind of happened more often. But when I warmed this on its own, or with like a complementary woodsy scent, it wasn't there at all. So this is a very strange scent in the sense that whatever you mix or warm near it, it can kind of affect whether or not the scent of this smells like palatable or slightly bizarre, we'll say. Because it wasn't to the point of where it was like overly pungent, because I know some people find that blueberry cheesecake, for example, has this weird sort of note as it starts melting for long enough times. And if you saw I think at some point I reviewed Perfect Oatmeal or whatever, that smell in me are not, I don't know, it was not a perfect oatmeal. It was like soggy, gross. But there's like a hint of that if you are not careful with what you warm this next to. So be careful with that. On its own, I do like it. Like it's a standalone scent, and it lasts almost, honestly, it lasts longer than Jack's Obsession. Like I had these going, I started them at the same time in different parts of the house. This one by far kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And like the next day I could even kind of warm it a little bit. There was still a little bit scent throw left. This one was done by like evening. It was like, bye, sayonara, bye, we're not here anymore. So if you are gonna pick between the two, if you only have like the interest in getting one, I would probably recommend trying this one because it is more of a strong thrower and a longer lasting throw, but be aware of what you warm it next to. All right, that was a long tangent on those, but that's okay. Then I warmed pumpkin chai. So we're gonna go through the 3 pumpkin pack from the Harvest collection. 2 of them I've half warmed through the bars, but we're gonna talk about them anyway. This is pumpkin chai. This is, as the moniker suggests, it's pumpkin and it's chai spices. There's no vanilla note, there's no creamy note, there's no like underlying anything else. This is literally pumpkin and chai spice. So if you are not a chai spice person, this is not a scent for you. If you're not a pumpkin person, because it is pretty pumpkin-y, this is not a scent for you. I found this a little bit too much for me. I like chai, but I like more of a creamy chai because of like a chai tea latte. And I'm not a huge pumpkin fanatic. I don't mind it, but this was very pumpkin-y. So I actually melted this with a 1-to-1 ratio with vanilla bean buttercream, which is another scent that on its own I find tends to be a little bit off-putting for me. Like the buttercream part, the butter part kind of comes through a little bit too much, and you don't get enough of the vanilla bean component, in my opinion. But if you mix this 1-to-1 with vanilla bean buttercream, you get a delicious, slightly buttery, but mostly vanilla, creamy pumpkin latte. And it smells delicious. On its own, both of those bars are not my favorites, but together they make a really, really yummy smell. So if you have this bar, or if you got it and you're like, whoa, this is too pumpkin or this is too chai, try mixing it with a vanilla scent. I used vanilla bean buttercream. You can use any sort of vanilla scent, I'm sure. And you'll probably get something a little bit more like a pumpkin spice latte, if you will, or pumpkin chai latte. Is it something that I would put in my Scentsy club? Probably not. Usually scents that go in my club are ones that stand alone are just amazing. If it's something that needs like a blender to be enjoyed, I tend to not put those in my club. But that's just what I do. All right, next one on our list is Pumpkin Tiramisu. I got through half of it so far. I was pleasantly surprised. I actually like this one better, much better actually, than Pumpkin Chai. If you're just warming it just based on the bar itself. Mixed, that pumpkin spice latte thing was really good. This is like a sweet pumpkin. You get more of the dessert note. When it first starts warming, you do get a blast of that pumpkin. So again, these are very pumpkin heavy scents. If you don't like pumpkin, I don't know that these would be a great selection for you. But this one does mellow out and you get more of that desserty sweetness scent going on. It's not like when I think of tiramisu, I think of like coffee, right? Because that's usually what tiramisu is. So this one, to me, there's no like coffee note in this. This is like a pumpkin and like creamy, fluffy mousse sort of dessert. So it's like, it's not like a pumpkin espresso tiramisu combination. It's pumpkin and then like that whipped moussey sort of dessert. And it's delicious. And I could see myself eating this. This one is in my club. I will probably keep it there for now. I think, honestly, out of the three, this might be my favorite in terms of overall performance. Which is surprising because I thought Bright Cider Life was going to be like my tried and true jam. But this one honestly surprised me in positive ways. So I have to warm the rest of the bar. That may change by the next time we get to these feedback videos, but for now, that's how it is. And then the third one in the collection is Bright Cider Life. This is white pumpkin and something. I should have had my scent notes here. I want to say there's like a woody note or like a cedar note along with the cider. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I really like this when you first put it in the warmers. It smells delicious. You get like apples, or maybe I get apples. I don't know. You get the cider note, but it's not so much in the forefront. You get like this bright, fresh, juicy quality to this. And then it warms for like 3 or 4 hours. And that juicy front note, vibrant scent, at least for me, disappears and you're just left with like cider. And it's like, it kind of reminds me in that sense of like Cider Mill, where the entire performance for me of Cider Mill is just like this cider note. There's nothing, there's no like complexity to it. There's not like a big, strong, like overwhelming, like this reminds me of going to a cider and apple donut sort of thing. It's just literally just a cider spice note sort of thing. That's kind of what happens as the top or mid notes of this kind of fade away fairly quickly. But it is a nice scent. It is very nice. I would just wish that the brightness of it, like the fruitiness of it that you get at the front, stayed with it. Now I do have these in Scentsy Go pods, which I have not tried yet. So I'm gonna probably see if I can't bring those out for a little while and see if that top note stays present a bit longer in the pod, like the Scentsy Go pods. But in the wax, I don't know what it is, but it just felt like after a few hours, the parts that made this so lovely just kind of started fading away. So those are the 3 pumpkin scents. Those are my honest feedback on them. Take that for what you will. I know all of our sniffers are a little bit different. Some people are raving about Bright Cider Life. I really loved it on cold sniff. That first initial performance was kind of like, okay. All right, and this is Aloe Vera and Ivy. This is another partial bar. We'll talk about this again. This is the August scent of the month. I want to say, I think this might be sold out at this point. I'm not sure. But this is the scent that every person was like, sort of like, this kind of reminds me of Inhale Exhale, our January scent of the month. It is and it isn't. I've warmed a couple bars of this now. And I do like it. Hence, I've been warming it. It is in my club. It may be coming out of my club, though. It is not the same as Inhale Exhale. It is much more of a green, watery sort of aquatic note. It's not specifically watermelon that I can tell. You do kind of get a watermelon sort of vibe. It's not as strong as Inhale Exhale. It is a medium performer. But there's like... It almost falls a little flat on the complexity. Like, there's so many notes comparably from this, and it just feels like it doesn't live up to as what I was hoping it to do. And if I had to pick like this next to Inhale Exhale, hands down, not even a question. This just, there's something about this that doesn't, it's not bad, but it just kind of makes me go, I kind of want more from it. So it is a nice aquatic green, sort of fresh scent, and I do like it, but I don't think I love it as much as I had hoped I would. So that's that one. I got through a bar of Rainfall and Lush Greens. This is from our Mix It collection. This is surprisingly strong. Like, the first time I warmed like a couple cubes and I was like, whatever. And then I warmed it again, and I don't know what it must have been that day, but the next couple times I've warmed it, it was strong. It lasted all day. You could smell it without like straining to try. I wonder if there's a smell in the room. Like, it was there. I mean, I do have this in my club. I almost took it out of my club. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, it's great. So if you have this in your club, congrats. If you don't, maybe it'll show back up at some point in the future. Next, I think we had a bunch of little random testers that I tried from Scentsy, and then we'll get on to the other non-Scentsy stuff. So, I had a tester in Mojito Mambo. This is like a mojito. You get like that kind of fizzy sort of lemony lime Sprite sort of note. You get fresh mint. Yeah, it's nice. It's refreshing. It's nothing to write home about, in my opinion, but then again, I don't know if I want my apartment smelling like a mojito specifically. I like mint scents, but I don't necessarily need my apartment to be minty all the time. This next one is, what is this? Blue Grotto. Oh, I mixed the caps up. That's funny. Blue Grotto, I've sniffed this before. It's like a citrusy sort of scent, fruity citrusy. It's nice. It's strong. It's not my favorite. I've tried it a couple times now, and I don't mind it, but it's not something I would go out of my way to get. But if you like citrusy, fruity, sort of like orangey, sweet scents, you'd love this. Luna is another tester I warmed through. Now, this is interesting because I had not actually really warmed Luna. I've tried it in like the laundry line and loved it. I liked it in like the Scentsy Fresh. I've heard about it. I'd never actually warmed it, so I warmed the tester of it. Let me just say, it performs quite well. It is this really nice, pleasant floral scent. I understand why, even though they took out all the other florals from our current fall-winter catalog, they left Luna in, and I'm glad they did because it is a beautiful scent, and it's even more beautiful than I expected in wax form. I'm not a huge fan of like Jammy Time. It's okay to me. There's something weird about like that combo that just doesn't sit with me as well. But Luna is awesome, and it lasted and lasted and lasted and lasted. So, and that was in the tester form. So, I got through a tester of Pink Cotton. Some people rave about this. It's like berries and cotton or something like that. It's kind of like if Pink Haze met cotton. It's just not my wheelhouse. It doesn't smell unpleasant. It's just, for me, it doesn't do anything. Twitter pated, we don't make this anymore. This was in my club. It's green, like fresh, lush greens, almost like a dewy green note with a lemon hint in there. It's good. I actually took it out of my club because as I was pairing and editing this month, I was like, I like it, but is it something that I need to, move on with life through? No, probably not. And then I tried Vanilla Mint, which I had heard about and I was curious about, and I like it. It's really light though, at least in the tester form. And I will probably still get a bar of it because it was a nice scent, but it was really soft. I was expecting it to be this really strong vanilla and mint scent. It was very light and subtle in background. And I actually appreciated that, but that wasn't what I was expecting. So I do like it. I'm going to get a bar, like an actual bar, to try it again and see if it performs any differently. But I do find this a good one. So that was a win. All right, the next part of this video, we have a few things from other non-Scentsy brands. So this is where I'll put my plug. If you liked up so far, consider liking and subscribing. I will do more all sorts of fragrance videos. And now, with that being said, moving on to the second part. So, starting with Better Homes and Gardens. This is from Walmart. This is Apple Blossom Freesia. And this is yummy, and it lasts all day. It is a light, springy floral. It actually throws pretty well. It's like a medium, almost medium strong. Like, it's there. There's no, like, sniffing around the room thinking, is there a scent in here? Like, it's definitely there. There's almost a dewy aquatic component to it. Like a light aquatic sort of vibe to it as well. It smells really good. It's like if you mixed like a little bit of Spring Has Sprung or like one of our fresh floral scents with Rainfall and Lush Greens, or like an aquatic sort of scent, or like Mineral Oasis. It smells really good. It has sort of like Mineral Oasis vibes from Scentsy, but with more of a floral component. So that is Apple Blossom Freesia. I got through Cleanse number 3. This is from Darcy and David's Hobby Lobby brand. This is Lemongrass and Tangelo. And this is not the same, but this reminds me, it's on a similar vein as Be Fabulous from Scentsy, which is like white grapefruit and like musk and citrus or something. This is lemongrass and tangelo. So there's no musk. You don't get the musk note. And you don't get a grapefruit note, obviously. It's clearly not as complex. It's more like lemony and citrus versus like grapefruit musk citrus. But it's along the same vein. So if you liked Be Fabulous, you would probably like this. My biggest complaint with this one was that it did not last all day. By like halfway through the day, like I put it in the morning, by like 3-4 o'clock, this was done. Like there was no scent. It was not like, oh, I think it's somewhere in the room, a light scent. It just, there was nothing left. So I actually went through the whole bar in the course of a day. Half of it lasted me the first half of the day, and the other half lasted me from the second half of the day until like midnight or 1. And then it was done. So is it beautiful? Yes. Was it worth the half off price when I got it? Absolutely. Would I get it again? Absolutely. But maybe not for the full price. All right. Next we have, actually we'll do this one in a minute. Let's do a Rustic Country Home. This is Better Homes and Gardens. It's cinnamon. It's literally a cinnamon and spice sort of scent. I don't know what a Rustic Country Home, like I was expecting woodsy or like a smoky note, maybe like even more of a bakery note. This is like a heck of a lot of cinnamon. And then some other spices. It kind of like it's not quite the craft store vibe sort of scent, but it's along those lines. And I don't really like cinnamon, so the scent, I was just happy to get through it. And I actually warmed it. Thank goodness I tried it. I had a feeling this was going to do something weird. I warmed it overnight so that like once I realized I wasn't going to like it, I let it like run its course through the evening. And it was kind of nice because I woke up and in the morning my main area of the apartment smelled like fresh cinnamon spices baking, which was kind of nice to wake up to. But yeah, this is not a scent I would repurchase. But if you like cinnamon heavy scents, go and Rustic Country Home it up. Next we have Vanilla Caramel Spice. This is Better Homes and Gardens, and this is such an interesting scent. So on cold, this smells like cinnamon vanilla from Scentsy. Like cinnamon and vanilla. There's no caramel note whatsoever, like to speak of. Then when you warm this, in the very beginning of it, it smells like cinnamon vanilla. And then after about, it starts melting through and warming, the cinnamon disappears and this becomes vanilla caramel. It's so weird to me. Yeah, and it's funny because when it gets to that vanilla caramel point, it smells, to me, I really enjoy it. Like, even more than I anticipated. Because at first I was like, ooh, that cinnamon spice thing, whatever's going on in there, not about that life. But once you get past like that little initial thing, the cinnamon, which is kind of a bakery cinnamon, kind of continues to get decreasingly more background note. And then it literally becomes vanilla meets caramel. And it's like a buttery caramel, not like a heavy, like smack in your face caramel, which is something I'm not a fan of. And you get mostly like the vanilla note. Ooh, it's so good. Would I get it again? Maybe. It's not a favorite of mine. I don't think that I would go out of my way to hunt for it, but it was pleasant and I would warm it again if I had another bar. All right, next we have Better Homes and Gardens Orange Cinnamon Rolls. This is as you expect. It's a cinnamon roll scent with a weird sort of orange citrus. Like it's almost like it almost smells like orange gym shoes, like orange rubbery gym shoes to me, and then cinnamon rolls, which sounds really bizarre, but like the orange part has like its artificial like plasticky rubber smell that you also I kind of picked up on, at least when I was warming it. The orange does not last the entirety of the scent. So after the citrus component of this kind of futzes out, it does become just mostly a cinnamon roll scent. But it's not cinnamon roll with like icing. It's literally just a cinnamon roll. Not a fan of this scent overall. It wasn't horrible, but I had quite a few cinnamon-based scents this last couple weeks, and I was over it. So, orange and cinnamon rolls. That's all I gotta say. Then I warmed Better Homes and Gardens Pistachio Macaroon, because I wanted to compare this to Scentsy's pistachio ice cream. And disclaimer alert, the pistachio component to it is very similar. Like the scent of pistachio is similar in both of these. But obviously this is not a creamy scent or an ice cream scent. This is a cookie sort of scent. And it's a very dry cookie because a macaroon, whatever they are, they're not traditionally, from what I remember, they're not particularly like chewy, moist cookies. Yeah, and this is it kind of reflects that it's like a dryness to the cookie note. It smells nice. It doesn't last the whole day. I was kind of bummed with that, at least for me. It kind of like starts out pretty strong and then kind of futzes. But then again, Scentsy's pistachio ice cream kind of does the same thing. It's like strong, 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 and then bye, where to go? Like there's no fade out. It's just it is or it isn't. This one kind of worked similarly, but if you don't like an ice creamy sort of scent, this would be a nice alternative. Moving on, we have Better Homes and Gardens Apple and Oud, which is what I'm warming in my room right now. And I have to say, I am laid disappoint. I didn't have high expectations, but I had expectations for this, and they were sadly not met. I don't know if it's just me or if like my sniffer today is off or what, but this futzed out real quick. So first off, when you first start warming it, you get a red apple, kind of along the lines of fresh orchard apples, but it's muted because there's a very heavy oud wood cologne note. And if you think of it, it's kind of like, there are moments when it's warming where it reminds me a little bit of like a very deep, rich cologne-y version of Scentsy's Hemingway scent, where Hemingway is like apples and sandalwood and spice. This is like a heavier, deeper oud wood / cologne sort of scent in red apple. And you do pick up on that on the initial warming of it, but after an hour or two, it's just mostly cologne sort of scented with like hints of apple, and then it kind of, to me at least, it kind of just disappears. Either I become scent blind to it almost instantaneously, or the fragrance, like I have to shove my nose into the warmer dish to actually smell what I'm smelling in the clamshell. Now I have another bar of this, so I will give it a second go because I do like the scent. But for me, it was very dismal in performance, which is surprising because even most of the Walmart waxes, even though they don't always last a long time, they tend to be pretty decent on their throwing capabilities. And this one was just so disappointing for an initial impression. So we'll see. I'll try warming it again, maybe in another part of the apartment, and see if that makes a difference. Next, I got through Thresholds. This is from Target, Island Hibiscus. This is strong. There's a weird off-putting note to this for me. It is described as with notes of tropical fruit and hyacinth. It's along the veins of Scentsy's Hibiscus Water, but there's like a weird, I don't know if it's like a green note or like a papaya note or like a cleaning sort of scent note, like a cleaner. There's something in here that is just a little bit off-putting that doesn't mix with the rest of the scent. Like it's good, and then there's like that weird little note in there that I'm just like, not sure. And I can't place it, but it is a strong performer. It lasts all day and then some. I've been pretty surprised and impressed with a lot of the Threshold waxes in terms of their throws or longevity. But yeah, something about this scent was just a little bit off for me, nose smelling wise, so I would probably not get this again, personally. All right, we have Ambi Vitamin C. This is a one that's sold at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's like a fresh, aquatic, like almost lemony citrus sort of scent. It's quite good. It's not a wham bam powerhouse, but it's definitely present, and it gives a very nice freshness to whatever part of the house you're warming it in. It's good. I would get this again. Do I love it? It's not like knock my socks off. I will rave about it, but it is really nice, and I would buy it again. Almost done. We're almost there, guys. Palm Beach, Darcy and David. This is Sandy Shore, Vanilla and Coconut. This is a Hobby Lobby scent. And this one, like, I had expectations for this one, and man, they were just disappointment. There is something really weird there's like a really weird note. I think it must be the sandy shore note because I can't imagine vanilla and coconut being the problem. The sandy shore note, I'm guessing, just does something really weird that smells like a freshly laid down carpet or something. And it's not a scent that I just want my house to smell like. It's like really odd sort of sand note. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. And the other part about it was this was a very kind of lackluster and performance throw. Like, it starts out like, oh, you think it's gonna be like this big monster of a scent, and it kind of was just a little bit of a futz to me. It was like a medium maybe throw, if I remember. But yeah, super forgettable. I had so many expectations because at first sniff and everything, I was like, oh, this is something I'm gonna like. Let me down. So sad. All right. Yankee Candle Crisp Fall Night. This is an interesting one too. It's like a men's cologne sort of scent. It is totally a men's cologne scent. It almost smells like a cologne my dad used to wear. Or like Aromas sort of smell, like that scent, or like one of those fancy, like really mature men's colognes. But it didn't throw very well for me, which is, I don't know if it's surprising or not, but it was very subtle in throw, and it was very, almost had a heavy component to it. So do I like the scent? Yes. If it was a cologne that I was wearing, oh man, that would have been great. A couple spritzes would have done ya. But as a room filling fragrance, I don't know. I have another one of those, so I'll probably warm it and see. I got a Febreeze Light Wax Melts and Lavender on my conquest to find a good lavender. They weren't kidding when they said it was light. I had to use like half of this whole clamshell to really get a noticeable enough throw. It is super light. I don't know what they use in this. Is this essential oils or whatever? It says no heavy perfumes. I mean, the whole point to me of a wax melt is to be able to smell it. So if I'm warming something that's marketed as a light product, yes, I don't want it to be like overwhelmingly strong, but I would also like it to be, you know, smellable. And that was just not the case unless you were like on top of or right next to the warmer, no matter what you did. So that was a big womp because I have heard that the regular Febreeze line, that's not the light line, is like a monster in terms of scent throw. But yeah, this line. But if you are super sensitive to fragrance, this may be just like perfect for you. So keep that in mind. A few more wax things. These are from Kringle. I got through Mystic Sands, which is a nice cologne-y sort of scent. It lasted all day. It was not in your face. It was like a medium sort of scent. Maybe a little bit on the lighter side, but it was delicious. I would totally get the scent again. Really good. I warmed Kringle's Hibiscus. You could not get a scent throw out of this to save your soul. It was so incredibly light. I don't think I've had a wax throw this light in a long time. And I used like the whole thing at one go to like in one room to try to power it through. And it was just so incredibly light. So I do not recommend that one. And then I did Lighthouse Point. And this is like a soapy, fresh scent. Little bit of a hint of a cologne to it, or body wash notes, a little more on the cologne-y side. But again, it was like medium soft, probably more on the softer side. And I'm not big on like soapy vibes overall, I've realized. So this was kind of like I would warm it again, but it doesn't do anything for me. Finally, I warmed this, and you'll see this in another video that I have recorded and will be releasing sometime this week. But I found a sampler pack of pink zebra sprinkles, which are apparently like a soy-based little wax pellety thing. So I tried Relax Lavender Vanilla, His this week, and Clean. Clean is basically like your standard traditional laundry scent. So is it forgettable? Pretty much. It's like every other standard laundry scent. It's like clothesline, clean. Clothesline is standout only from Scentsy because it's such a powerhouse throw. And laundry scents tend to be super strong. This one was actually a light to medium sort of laundry throw scent. So that was kind of nice. So if you're looking for a laundry scent that doesn't rip your nose apart, maybe look at that. His was a nice cedary cologne scent. It was fairly light, but it did linger and last. I would maybe try that again to see if, you know, I would have better luck with a fresh set of it. Who knows? And then Relax Lavender Vanilla. This is a nice lavender vanilla scent for in the evenings. Again, I got these samples off of what I call the wax black market, which is just someone online selling some sample packs. So from what I was reading on their Pink Zebra website, that their particular scent beads are apparently good for up to a year, supposedly, after they're manufactured, which is interesting because a lot of times waxes, as they age, will get stronger or better, but I guess on theirs they have like that 1 year mark. Maybe it's because they're in pellet form. Who knows? So for all I know, these ones that I have tried so far could have been far stronger if they were fresh from the manufacturer. Anyways, that's all I know about Pink Zebra. And then final news, I got through 2 shower gels from Bath & Body Works, Waikiki Beach Coconut. This is a delightful, like, fresh, beachy coconut scent. I love it. Beautiful Day is like a green apple and slightly floral scent. It's all right. Not my favorite. Not anything to, like, write home about, but I enjoyed it. And then White Jasmine, which at first I was like, I don't smell much with it, but it's a white jasmine with like a white cedar wood underneath, and it just is so heavenly. It's not a strong scent, but it is so nice and subtle when it's on, and it lingers, kind of like that, what they call the sillage or whatever, like when the trace of your scent is like in the air when you walk by. I don't know. Anyways, that one is a really nice one, so I would probably get some more of that at some point in the future once I don't have a mountain of wax and lotions and other things to get through. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, hit the like and subscribe button for more of my craziness, and I will see you in our next video. Take care. Bye.